really beat him with a traffic cone? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Oliver Mack. Welcome to Oliver Rants, and in this video, we got to talk about 7 teens that beat an elderly man to death with a traffic cone. What is wrong with these children? Oh my God. Before we get started, please smash the like button, get in the comments, tell me what you think, share this video, and one more thing, please hit that notification bell so you know the next time I make a video. All right, let's go.
Developing tonight, police providing an update on a deadly assault as they share surveillance video with us 2 weeks after a 73-year-old man was attacked by a group of teenagers, and they're hoping that you'll be able to help them identify the suspects. Dave Kinchin joining us live now. Dave, what have you learned?
Yeah, that's the big message from police. They are really hoping that someone, maybe even the parents, they recognize the young people in the surveillance video and turn them in. One of those young people even recorded the attack, apparently, as it took place. The shocking, brutal, and deadly assault of a 73-year-old man beaten with a parking cone in North Philadelphia. The attackers, just teenagers, according to police. Neighbors are beside themselves.
I was watching it on the TV, and I didn't go for it.
Surveillance cameras capture the elderly victim, identified by homicide detectives as James Lambert, pictured here in his obituary, surrounded by 4 boys and 3 girls. They are believed to be between 13 and 17 years old.
How I was thinking is like, why did they do it?
At least 2 of them engage in the attack. The victim struck at least 3 times. It happened on the 2100 block of Cecil B. Moore after 2:30 a.m. on the morning of June 24th near the
2:30 a.m.? What are these little kids doing out at 2:30 a.m.? Where are their parents?
YMCA and MLK Rec Center.
Where he was coming from or where he was going to, I have no idea.
At one point, the victim is knocked to the ground and hits his head. Police say he died at the hospital the next day of blunt force trauma. Investigators say this to the parents of the suspects.
If they are aware that their son or daughter is involved in this incident, I think that the best course of action would be for them to contact an attorney and then contact the homicide unit and make arrangements to have themselves turned in.
How can I say he deserves what he get? What they get, he deserves it.
Well, this is one in a series of attacks, a series of assaults committed by children or teenagers across the city in recent weeks, but police could not yet say if this one is connected to those others. There's a $20,000 standing reward for information that leads to an arrest and conviction.
All right, that's enough. I just want to say Philadelphia is hot garbage right now. The city of Philadelphia, hot garbage. There's nothing but crime, murders, all that in the city right now. And unfortunately, the majority of the perpetrators of these crimes, these murders, are people who look like me. Kids who look like me. Check it out. 2 black kids right there. They're laughing. This man was knocked unconscious at the time. They didn't know if he was dead or not. He ended up dying at the hospital the next day. But obviously, they know he's pretty hurt. But they're laughing about it. There's a girl. What girls doing out here like that? I mean, these females with all this masculine energy is just disgusting. Look, there's a group of them. What are they doing? This one looks like he's 13. What are they doing out at this time of night? Where are their parents? If you don't know where your kids are and your kids end up doing something like this, you should be held responsible as a parent. Straight up. If your kids are out at 2 o'clock in the morning, they kill somebody. Your 13-year-old, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old are out at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you don't know where they are, or you know where they are and you allow them to do it, you need to be held responsible as a parent. You should do some time in jail. For real. I mean, we got to understand, like, the things that we're seeing in this country, the violence that we're seeing in this country comes from one place. The way these kids are raised. Period. You raise your children in a messed up situation, 9 chances out of 10, They're going to end up doing some messed up stuff either when they're teens or when they're adults. So you really, really have to pay attention to how you're raising your children. What environment are you raising your children in? And it's just disgusting for me to see these situations like this where innocent people get killed, murdered because of some idiot parents who raise degenerate children to do degenerate things. It just makes me. I have a kid. I have a 6-year-old. And my number one priority is making sure that he has the best possible life that he can have. And then also ensuring that he has all the necessary tools to be successful when he gets older. But a lot of parents today, they don't care anything about that. All they care about is how my child is going to benefit me. If they're having their child in sports, it's because they want their child one day to grow up and be an athlete and make millions of dollars so that way they can give them the money. Or they'll have children just so they can get on government assistance so they don't have to work anymore. Or they'll have children by a guy who has money just so they can get his child support check every month so they don't have to work. Your children are not there to benefit you. You are there to benefit them. They did not ask to be brought into this world. So since you chose to bring them into this world, it is your responsibility to make sure that they are well taken care of and have all the necessary tools they need to become productive citizens in the future. And that's a sacrifice that every parent has to make. Your life is no longer your own. Your life is dedicated to your children. You should be worrying about what kind of legacy you're going to leave behind. You should be worrying about what kind of adults you're going to raise into or bring into society. What kind of adults are you going to raise up? Are you going to raise up thugs? Are you going to raise up murderers? Are you going to raise up rapists? Are you going to raise up prostitutes? Or do you want to raise up doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, CEOs? That's what I want to do. But I know it's not a roll of the dice, right? It's not a roll of the dice to see what kind of child or what kind of adult you're going to raise. It's not. There are things that you can do as a parent to ensure that your child grows up the way that you want them to grow up. Or if you don't give a crap about how your child grows up, give them up for adoption then. Straight up. If you don't care how your child is being raised, you don't care if your child has an adequate education, if you don't care if your child has all the necessary tools they need to be successful, give them to somebody who does. There should be a lot more adoptions in the United States because there's a lot of people out there that have children they don't want. A ton of them that have children they don't want. But there's a lot of parents out there that can't have children that will make great parents, but there's no kids to adopt or the adoption process is too difficult, so they can't get the children. And that's one thing I want to touch on too. So we conservatives, we talk about being pro-life. We talk about if you're in these situations where you feel like you want to abort your baby, instead of aborting your baby, give them up for adoption. But I know the system makes it pretty difficult for parents to adopt children. It shouldn't be that difficult and it shouldn't be that expensive. It should be pretty cheap as long as you run a background and you know that these children are going to be in a good situation with these parents. You've ran the background, you've seen their home and how they're living, and you've done interviews. As long as they can pass all that, it shouldn't be thousands of dollars to adopt children. It should be very, very easy to adopt children. And if you're not taking care of your child, you don't want to take care of your child, there should be a home waiting for them to go to where they'll take care of the children. But don't wait until the child is already screwed up to give them up. Not a juvenile delinquent because of how you raised them, and now you want to give them up. Nope, you can't give them up then. We should have a minimum age or a maximum age on when you're trying to give up your child. And if you do something to where the child ends up doing something horrible like this, like killing an elderly man with a traffic cone, then you should go to jail as a parent, because you should know where your kids are. And if your kids keep trying to sneak out, call the police on them, have them spend some time in jail. Maybe that'll teach them a lesson. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, we're going to keep having bad parents until the end of time. If you're watching this and you're a parent, just know this. You are solely responsible for how your child grows up. You are solely responsible for raising the next murderer, drug dealer, rapist, prostitute. That's you. Now, if you want them to be something else, you want them to be successful, doctors, lawyers, nurses, entrepreneurs, CEOs, if you want that, then there's things that you have to do as a parent to ensure that that happens. That's it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Visit the description section so you get links to my social media and also my merch. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out. Peace.